The NFL should be terrified of Los Angeles. The Rams just built a defensive monster with Myles Garrett and a championship offense around Stafford. But behind this unstoppable machine is one massive question. Can quarterbacks survive the ultimate Super Bowl chase?
The Rams or the field this year to win the Super Bowl?
You know, anytime I'm on TV with Joe and y'all start asking me these type of questions, I don't even know how to answer them. It makes me nervous. I guess you don't really ever take one team over the field, but this is different. I take the Rams because, first of all, the field doesn't factor in because it's not like you're competing truly against 31 other teams. When you look at this Rams roster, one thing that they lacked, especially when you go back to the NFC Championship, was the ability to get stops. We saw what Puka Nacua was able to do. We knew what Sean McVay could do with this run game. What you couldn't do was get Kenneth Walker on the ground. You couldn't get to Sam Darnold. You couldn't stop plays on the back end. So you go out and you not only add Jalen Watson, who is a good starter at the cornerback position, but you add Trent McDuffie, who's a top 5 player at the position who can now go outside and inside. Quentin Lake should be healthy. He's one of the big-time playmakers and coordinators on the back end. But Myles Garrett isn't just an upgrade from Jared Verse, who is a top-tier Pro Bowl caliber player. Myles Garrett is a transitional, generational talent. Myles Garrett can win football games by himself. There was 5 sacks against the New England Patriots. Myles Garrett has had historic performances in losses in Cleveland. You add that to Sean McVay, Les Snead, and their all-in attitude in this season, and maybe the greatest defensive tackle of all time, or one of the top 2, is coming back to play as well. This team is unstoppable. The only thing that can get to them is health and father time when you think of the quarterback.
Bring us back to the boring side where me and Joe are on this one, which is the fact. I'm sorry, RC. I love the passion. I love all of that. But I gotta be logical here a little bit with the fact that you just can't take a team over the field in the NFL. You cannot take a team over the field in single elimination games. That's just my philosophical belief. Anything can happen in one of those games. NBA, you got 7 games. 9 times out of 10, the best team is going to win over the course of a week of basketball. When you have NFL, anything can happen in one game in the playoffs, especially, like, RC, you kind of blowing past if injuries. Matt Stafford is an old man with back problems. Like, those two things, when they go together, that makes me worry a little bit. He having the back problems that they have commercials for. Like, that is a concern of mine. Like, I need to know that this guy is going to be healthy, and then if he is not, who is your backup that is going to sustain you when that happens? The Rams are not proven in that area. Those are my concerns.
Stafford's been, but also to kind of knock him a little bit. Like, if there's one knock on Stafford, it's that he's got really clean conditions right now. He's got this elite play caller in Sean McVay. He's got 2 number 1 receivers, so they're hard to double team. Devontae Adams was terrific last year. You know, they make the offensive line and everything else work. You have weapons. Like, the Rams are never worried about moving the ball for the most part. And Sean McVay, to his credit, went to that under center, more so work, 3 tight end sets, in part to protect Stafford, who had that back issue and has had some injuries. And then Stafford did the rest. But actually, I talked to several coaches that were like, it wasn't even close who was the best quarterback last year, not only just winning the MVP, but just playing the position, the mastery of it, the anticipation on the throws, just making these ridiculous throws all the time. That was all Stafford, and nobody else was a close second in that regard. So if he's 32 years old right now, he might be our number 1 quarterback. It's really an age thing, 38. But I don't, at one point I thought he was going to retire, maybe even over his contract. Now he's got all the guaranteed money. He's all set up. He's got the MVP. He's probably going to play another 2 to 3 years at least, it feels like right now.
Well, why wouldn't you, right? If McVay is your play caller and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are your main receiving targets and Kyron Williams and Blake Corum are your main running backs and the offensive line is handled and Myles Garrett shows up and that might smoke Aaron Donald out of retirement, right?
Right. I mean, the Rams are leaning into that one too. You know, as last I've gathered, he has not made a firm decision yet. The working out of the facility was interesting, but I've told he's done that off and on for the last few years. That's not necessarily a new thing. He's kept a really tight relationship with the Rams organization since he retired. So it kind of feels like the door has always been open. So we'll see. He is not dispelling the rumors whatsoever. You know, I've talked to some teams who wonder, like, is he going to be a midseason sniper and come in week 10 or week 12. And I'm not so sure. I mean, Les Snead told me recently, the GM there, that Aaron Donald's a principled individual. If he's going to do it, he's got to be all the way in. He's got to know he's going to be his dominant self. So if he gets to that point, then I could see the trigger pulled and he's out there at some point, which would be ridiculous. I mean, when I was talking to people in the league for this very top 10 series, I mean, I had multiple people bring up like, hey, is this Aaron Donald thing really real? Like, is this going to be a thing where he's on the field with Myles Garrett? So we talk about the fear factor being thick. It would definitely be so in LA with that equation.
No doubt about it. What would be ridiculous, again, is somebody who's been retired for as long as he is, and he doesn't really have to change his workout or eating habits to get ready for the NFL.
Right.
He's
microwaved, ready to go.
Yeah, no doubt.
The NFL may have a new monster because the Los Angeles Rams didn't just improve their roster. They built a team designed to terrify every opponent standing in their way. An elite offense, a championship-level coach, a quarterback playing some of the best football of his career, and now a defense loaded with game-changing weapons. The biggest question around the league is no longer whether the Rams can compete. It's whether anyone can actually stop them. Because after the NFC Championship loss, Los Angeles knew exactly what went wrong. The offense was not the problem. Sean McVay's system worked. Puka Nacua dominated. The running game delivered. But when the biggest moments arrived, the defense couldn't finish. They couldn't consistently pressure Sam Darnold. They couldn't stop Kenneth Walker. They couldn't create enough chaos when the game was on the line. So the Rams made a statement. They didn't rebuild. They attacked. And they may have created the most dangerous defense in football. And the biggest reason the NFL should be worried has one name: Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is not just another defensive addition. He is a problem that changes how offenses prepare. The Rams already had Jared Verse, a young pass rusher with superstar potential. But Garrett is different. He is a player who can completely take over games. A defensive weapon capable of destroying an offensive game plan by himself. We have already seen it. A 5-sack performance against New England. Dominant moments throughout his career. Plays that changed games, even when his team didn't win. Now, put that talent inside Sean McVay's championship system. The Rams also upgraded their secondary. They added Jalen Watson. They brought in Trent McDuffie, one of the best corners in football who can play both outside and inside. Quentin Lake returns healthy as another playmaker on the back end. This defense is no longer built to survive. It is built to attack. And that creates the nightmare scenario for every quarterback in the NFL. Because pressure changes everything. But even the most dominant roster in football has one massive question. And it starts with the quarterback. Matthew Stafford might be the biggest reason people believe the Rams can win the Super Bowl. Because last season, Stafford looked different. Not just productive, not just experienced, elite. Coaches around the league praised his mastery of the position, his anticipation, his accuracy, his ability to make impossible throws look routine. If Stafford was 32 years old right now, many people would call him one of the best quarterbacks in football. But he is 38. And that is the concern. Because the Rams have built everything around him. They have Sean McVay calling plays. They have Puka Nacua and Davante Adams creating one of the toughest receiving duos to defend. They have Kyron Williams and Blake Corum controlling the running game. They have weapons everywhere. But Stafford's health is the one thing that could destroy this championship dream. His back issues remain the biggest question. Because if Stafford is healthy, the Rams can beat anyone. But if he goes down, the entire machine could collapse. And that is why the Rams debate has divided the NFL. Because one side sees a Super Bowl monster, while the other side sees one dangerous weakness. But there is one more possibility that could completely change the conversation. Aaron Donald. The rumors continue. The legendary defensive tackle has stayed close with the Rams organization since retirement. He has worked out. He has stayed connected. But if Donald returns, it won't be because he wants a farewell tour. Aaron Donald only knows one standard: dominance. And imagine the nightmare. Myles Garrett attacking from the edge. Aaron Donald destroying the interior. Two generational defensive forces on the same team. That is why people around the league keep asking, is Aaron Donald really coming back? Because if the answer is yes, the Rams defense could become something football has rarely seen. A unit that doesn't just stop offenses, a unit that scares them before kickoff. But after all the excitement, one question remains. Can the Rams survive the biggest opponent of all? The Rams have everything championship teams dream about. A brilliant coach, an elite quarterback, explosive weapons, a defense transformed by one of the best pass rushers in football, and maybe a legendary defensive tackle waiting in the shadows. That is why some believe Los Angeles is not just another contender. They believe the Rams are the team nobody wants to face. But the NFL is different. One game, one injury, one mistake, and everything changes. The biggest threat to the Rams is not talent. It is health. It is time. It is Father Time chasing Matthew Stafford. Because if Stafford stays healthy, and if this defense becomes what everyone expects, Los Angeles might become the NFL's ultimate nightmare. The Rams are not chasing a playoff spot. They are chasing another championship. And the rest of the league has been warned.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.